Hello, hi, my name is Mo and I thought today I'd make a video on Arielle Scarcella and Elliot Page. So first of all, who is Elliot Page? Elliot Page is an actor who recently came out as transgender. He's non-binary and uses he/they pronouns. You may know him from films such as Juno, the X-Men series, and most recently he played Vanya in The Umbrella Academy. Arielle Scarcella, on the other hand, is a lesbian YouTuber who is known for hating trans people, because that's just a fun pastime nowadays, I guess. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to talk about Elliot and his coming out and the implications that has for the trans community, and then I'm going to react to a video that Arielle Scarcella made on his coming out. So let's talk about Elliot's coming out. Elliot came out by releasing a statement, and I'll read it out to you now because I think it's very powerful and it needs to be heard. Hi friends. I want to share with you that I am trans. My pronouns are he, they, and my name is Elliot. I feel lucky to be writing this, to be here, to have arrived at this place in my life. I feel overwhelming gratitude for the incredible people who have supported me along this journey. I can't begin to express how remarkable it feels to finally love who I am enough to pursue my authentic self. I've been endlessly inspired by so many in the trans community. Thank you for your courage, your generosity, and ceaselessly working to make this world a more inclusive and compassionate place. I will offer whatever support I can and continue to strive for a more loving and equal society. I also ask for patience. My joy is real, but it is also fragile. The truth is, despite feeling profoundly happy right now and knowing how much privilege I carry, I am also scared. I'm scared of the invasiveness, the hate, the jokes, and the violence. To be clear, I'm not trying to dampen a moment that is joyous and one that I celebrate, but I want to address the full picture. The statistics are staggering. The discrimination towards trans people is rife, insidious, and cruel, resulting in horrific consequences. In 2020 alone, it has been reported that at least 40 transgender people have been murdered, the majority of which were Black and Latinx trans women. To the political leaders who work to criminalise trans healthcare and deny our right to exist, and to all those with a massive platform who continue to spew hostility towards the trans community, you have blood on your hands. You unleash a fury of vile and demeaning rage that lands on the shoulders of the trans community. A community in which 40% of trans adults report attempting suicide. Enough is enough. You aren't being cancelled. You are hurting people. I am one of those people, and we won't be silent in the face of your attacks. I love that I am trans, and I love that I am queer. And the more I hold myself close and fully embrace who I am, the more I dream, the more my heart grows, and the more I thrive. To all trans people who deal with harassment, self-loathing, abuse, and the threat of violence every day, I love you, and I will do anything I can to change this world for the better. Thank you for reading this. All my love, Elliot. Wow. The first time I read that, not gonna lie, I may have cried a bit. It's so special to see something like this. The trans community is starved of representation. The little representation that we do get is often damaging and helps perpetuate these harmful stereotypes. What Elliot has done is incredibly brave, and I can't express how much respect I have for him. Before I get into reacting to Arielle's video, I want to do a quick little trans etiquette, I guess, on just what to do when a trans person comes out and how to best support them. Because I've seen a lot of people on social media getting it wrong, and often it's not even intentionally, it's just from lack of knowledge. So first of all, when a trans person comes out and tells you their new name, stop using the old one. Even if you're referring to them in the past, don't use their dead name, because that's not who they are. And same goes with pronouns. Even if you're talking about them in the past, use their preferred pronouns. Another thing not to do, don't ask about surgeries or just anything relating to their body. A lot of the time when trans people come out, people will start asking things like, ooh, when you're gonna get the surgery, or when you're gonna get a penis. And it's just weird. You wouldn't ask a random stranger what they've got on their pants. so you shouldn't ask a trans person. But those are the main three things. As long as you stick to them, it should be fine. There's one other thing I want to add. I've seen a lot of people calling Elliot a trans guy, and from what I've seen, that's actually not correct. Now, I could be wrong. Obviously, I'm not Elliot, so I can't know his identity, but in an article from Variety, it says he identifies as transgender and non-binary, meaning he doesn't identify as a man or a woman. So that's just something to keep in mind, and I'd probably avoid calling him a trans guy, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Okay, so now we've talked about that, I'm going to react to this video from Arielle Scarcella. Now I'm going to put a trigger warning here for transphobia. If that kind of stuff upsets you, I don't know, watch with care.
Well, we did it. We lost another lesbian, guys.
It's been 4 seconds, and she's already said, we've lost another lesbian. You haven't lost another lesbian. Elliot has come out so he can finally live and express himself for who he truly is. How dare you make someone else's coming out about you? Someone coming out should never be a loss. If you have a problem with someone's happiness and identity, that is on you, my friend.
My response is basically this. If he is truly trans, good for fucking him. There is still a...
Let me just stop it right there. Did you catch that? If he is truly trans. What do you mean by if? And what do you mean by truly? It's language like this that you need to look out for. It's language like this that indicates the way these people truly think. Arielle is implying that she doesn't really think he is trans. To assume you know more about someone's identity than they do is the height of arrogance. If somebody tells you they're trans, they're probably trans.
Is still a huge issue at large. And that is, why are we losing all of our lesbians?
Is there an issue? Really, Arielle, because I don't see one. I don't possibly see how Elliot coming out as trans could present an issue. Unless, of course, you were, oh, I don't know, transphobic. But you vehemently deny that, don't you, Arielle? You can't be transphobic because you've got trans friends. Oh, wait, no, that's right. They're all leaving you. That's interesting, isn't it? Even Calvin Garrett has denounced you at this point. When Calvin Garrett starts calling you out for transphobia, you know you fucked up.
I said this to Elliot on Twitter. Much respect for the Elliot Page for coming out as trans. I still wonder though, where are all the lesbians going? 2 things can be true at once. 1, some people are actually trans. 2, some lesbians are internally misogynistic and want to be anything other than a woman. And I stand by that.
Normally I would try to hold back and be a little bit more civil, but I've had enough. So fuck you, Arielle. Fuck you. Can you imagine if a lesbian came out and then a trans guy went up to her and said, hey, you're not actually a lesbian, you're actually a trans guy. Imagine the backlash. So why is it okay when the roles are reversed? Spoiler alert, it's not. Transphobia is just a little bit more fashionable in today's capitalist dystopia than homophobia is. And that's why Arielle's jumped on the bandwagon. She doesn't really care about women. She cares about making money. And how does she make money? By shitting on trans people. If you are making money off the back of attacking an already marginalised community, you are a piece of shit. And I hope it keeps you up at night.
And of course, for even questioning, where are all the lesbians going? I get called transphobic.
That's because you are transphobic. Arielle, if this many people are calling you out for your transphobia, maybe you should start to listen. Because maybe, just maybe, they have a point.
Somebody wrote the lesbians are still here. They just don't like you because you're a transphobic piece of shit. All right, there. I think my friend Claire on Twitter nailed it, and I want to read her tweet because I think it sums it up perfectly. I find it depressing how many young lesbians now feel that because they do not perform or feel invested in conventional femininity, they can no longer be women. And so they shift from identifying as lesbian women to straight men. Compulsory heterosexuality all over again. To her point, no, we are not saying that we don't think Elliot is actually trans.
The thing is, Arielle, you don't have to explicitly say, I don't think he's really trans. Because you're implying it. You can try and deny it all you want, but your words speak for themselves. And even if you do care about all this shit, why now? Why now? Why talk about it the exact moment Elliot comes out? Because that seems like really odd timing to me. When somebody comes out as a lesbian, you don't go, oh, the dangers of like lesbians preying on young girls. Bleh. You don't do that. For starters, that's not happening. But also, it's not the right time. It's not the right time for you to insert your big fat nose into someone else's business. Using someone else's coming out as a way to push your own political ideology is just the lowest of low. This is about them. It's about their coming out and their journey. It's not about you and your shitty beliefs. Just when I think Arielle can't get any worse, she'll come out with shit like this. I mean, hey, at least it's never boring with Arielle. You know, she keeps you on your toes. You're never quite sure just how low she will go.
We are afraid to lose our rights, and even more so, our sanity at this point, let's be real.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with not feeling like the other girls. However, there is something obviously wrong in how many girls are now identifying as non-binary. And let's not forget how many lesbians are now identifying as non-binary and queer. I mean, imagine coming out as a lesbian today. I know it sounds really crazy, but doing that today is really controversial and in fact would get you a lot of hate from the LGBT community.
Not to start drama, but I sort of know Mars. He invited me onto his channel to do a podcast with him. I didn't really know much about YouTube at the time. I was very uneducated, and I thought he was nice. I thought he was a nice guy. You know, he said he respected me as a non-binary person. But I've come to realise that is not true. That's not true at all. You know, actions speak louder than words. You can say to my face, oh Mo, yeah, I respect you as a non-binary person, 100%, I respect. But then if you do shit like this...
There is definitely a trend that we're seeing here, right? A lot of girls are identifying as non-binary.
If you make videos about how you don't really believe in non-binary, if you talk shit on Twitter, if you like comments like this, I'm sorry, but you don't support non-binary people like me at all. It's a hard lesson to learn that not everybody on YouTube is as nice as they seem. People treat YouTube like a game, and I don't really like that. I don't like it when people aren't straight up with me. If you don't think non-binary people exist, tell it to my fucking face, okay? I don't want to waste my time with somebody who doesn't respect me. You know, Mars, you kind of took advantage of me. I'd just turned 18, I'd made one video talking about my identity, I had 200 subscribers, and I had no idea how YouTube worked. I'm not saying you manipulated me or anything. I went onto your show willingly. But I didn't really know the implications of going on your show, and I didn't really know what you believed, I didn't know who you are. I went onto your show willingly, and any dumb thing I said, I take full responsibility for. But at the same time, you shouldn't have really asked me to go on in the first place. Why ask a non-binary 18-year-old with 200 subscribers who up until this point has only posted music tutorials to come onto your channel to talk about their identity? Especially when you hold the views you do. You weren't just getting me onto your podcast to talk about my experience. You were getting me on there to justify my identity. I don't want to start beef, I don't want to backstab anyone, but at the same time, I don't want to take shit. I don't want people to walk all over me and think it's fine. Because it's not. You were never truly supportive of me, and I can see that now. And it sucks. But that's just life, I guess. But anyway. You know, I think I'm actually going to stop the reaction there, because Arielle's videos make me lose brain cells at an alarming rate, and I just don't have that many to spare. And anyway, I think we got enough of an idea about what the video was about from that section alone. But hey, don't let this kind of thing get you down. Because this is a joyous occasion. Elliot Page has come out. He's one of us. And he's openly said he's going to help advocate for the trans community. And that is amazing. Elliot is such a high-profile celebrity. The impact his coming out will have is huge. So this is a beautiful moment. Thank you, Elliot Page. I hope you can finally find the space to just be who you are. But yeah, I think that's all I really want to say here, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to subscribe, feel free. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am CopsHateMo on everything. I also have a Patreon you can pledge to. But yeah, I hope you have a good day, stay safe, and I'll see ya.